October the 19th, 2023. As you're looking at one of a few articles that we're going to look at tonight coming out of Israel. This is saying the Israeli army's plan to invade Gaza, total occupation of the Strip and reduction of its area through buffer zones. It will get a port and a connection to Cyprus. Remember, were going to getting, I guess, 1 million or so folks to move out of northern Gaza into southern Gaza. They were saying that was in order so they could go in and try to eliminate Hamas. It looks like now they're trying to make that permanent, and it's not going well with many states in that area. And guys, you know this is not going very well with the folks in that area. It says the purpose of the Israeli ground offensive in Gaza is to create a 1 to 3 kilometer wide buffer zone in the northern part of it, which it controls militarily, creating sufficient strategic depth between the Gaza Strip from the cities of Sderot and Ascalon. Number 2, Israeli forces will operate from 4 directions, northern, central, and southern sectors, combined with the creation of seawalls on the coast of the Gaza Strip. The first goal is the crushing of Hamas in the entire Gaza Strip. Second goal is to stabilize within 5 to 10 years a political local government friendly to Israel and U.S. Now, that's going to work out real well, isn't it, guys? Gaza will get a controlled port which will communicate with Cyprus. Second article, the U.S. forces were put on a 24-hour alert. Finally, Turkey for Israel. Israeli embassies and consulates in Africa are evacuated in the Middle East. It says the USA issued a global directive. I don't know how many people pay attention to that anymore, but when it says finally Turkey is for Israel. But guys, looking at Turkey, things can change very quickly as all of these kings come together in this area of the world. It says the Pentagon has put the majority of its units on a 24-hour readiness for deployment in case Israel needs reinforcements, according to the U.S. These are units of medical care, air defense, logistics, etc. And today, Israel withdrew all its diplomats from Turkey. The Middle East Eye reported citing sources. At the same time, Israel has reportedly begun the process of evacuating its embassies and consulates in the Middle East as well as North Africa. Diplomats depart from Jordan, Morocco, and other countries. Israeli media reports that embassies in Bahrain and Egypt are also being evacuated. Now, guys, south of Saudi Arabia, I think it is, in Yemen, you've got the Houthi group, which is actually part of Iran. It says the U.S. intercepts the Iranian drone and cruise missile attack from Yemen targeting Israel. The UAVs hit U.S. bases in Syria and Iraq. The Houthi attack was ordered by Iran. Look at what we're dealing with, guys. U.S. bases in Syria and Iraq have been hit. They diverted it from Israel, but they did not divert it from the U.S. bases. Does that sound familiar? There was a U.S. ship called the Carney Arleigh Burke class destroyer intercepted 3 cruise missiles and several drones launched from Yemen aimed at Israel. The interception took place while in the Red Sea. According to reports, the missiles were aimed at Israel and not the U.S. destroyer. This means that the Houthis, actually Iranian guards, launched 3 missiles at Israel and several drones. This is much more powerful than what Israel has been dealing with. Now, Russia gave the warning yesterday about a 24/7 air campaign over the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. The jets were carrying the Kinzhal missiles, which are Mach 10, can't be traced, and they're designed to take out aircraft carriers. It says, but Iran has cruise missiles with a range of more than 2,000 kilometers, the Sumar, as well as drones with a range of more than 2,000 kilometers. Pentagon Press Secretary Brigadier General Pat Ryder confirmed that the USS Carney shot down the 3 land attack cruise missiles as well as several drones launched by Yemen's Houthi forces over the Red Sea. We can safely say, he said, that this was Iran's first warning shot. I don't know how much of a warning shot it was if you got 3 cruise missiles headed in, even though you took them down. And now this in the latest article. It says Iran orders the general attack on Israel. U.S. gives IDF thousands of artillery shells intended for Ukraine. Shock in Kiev and Zelensky. Hundreds of Shiites are transferred to Golan and Lebanon. It says hundreds of Shiite members and pro-Iranian Hezbollah militias board buses in Baghdad to be taken to the Iraq-Syria-Jordan border. From there, they will either concentrate on the Golan Heights or move to Lebanon to open new fronts for the Israeli army. An Israeli media saying Iran state television has given orders for a general attack on Israel. Tonight, Iran state TV called on members of the Axis of Resistance to attack Israel from all sides if the Israeli operation is not stopped. Now, also, you had Egypt and Jordan come out this morning and tell Israel, no more advances into Gaza, no more war there, or you're going to lose some friends from both your east and your south. Iranian television announced to its viewers the plan to attack Israel. It says they will hit from all sides. Shiite militias in Iraq, Syria, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Houthi rebels in Yemen will launch a coordinated attack, including missiles and drones, to create a siege of Israel. Remember, Russia has 24/7 air campaign over the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. No one will stop the forces of resistance, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei said on the show. Iran claims the Houthis have missiles with a range of about 200,000 kilometers, nearly 1,250 miles, and Hezbollah has acquired anti-ship missiles to target Israel Navy ships and Tel Aviv. It's not saying where they came from. Pro-Iranian Iraqi militias have gathered in the Syrian port of the Golan Heights. And no matter what you believe with this prophecy situation, was it a planned prophecy so that they could carry out their plan and everyone think it was a religious activity? Who knows? Who knows if it was forced? But I can tell you this, the enemy is following that game plan, so we need to be very aware of that plan. They're saying such an attack could be launched within days if the supreme leader's demand to stop Israel's strikes on Gaza are ignored. Same thing that Egypt and Jordan are saying. In a communication between Iran's army chief Bagheera, Russia's defense minister, and Qatar's defense minister Shoigu said Israel's ongoing crimes and the help it receives from some in the West may lead others to be forced to join the conflict. We are very concerned about a widespread attack on the civilians, he said. Iran's report of possible multi-pronged attack on Israel comes as U.S. ships and support vessels gather in the region, including the Arabian Gulf and the Eastern Mediterranean. You cannot forget the 24/7 air cover from Russia. And don't forget that piece of this puzzle that we have not quite figured out, that there was suddenly a large amount of military equipment, shells and missiles and things like that were going to Ukraine, which was kind of a losing cause, and is now shipped to Israel. Sometimes people play both sides of the card. You understand exactly what I'm saying. But guys, we're watching it. It's an update for this Thursday night. Be very prepared for what may happen at any moment. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.